What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So as you can tell by the title, we're going to be installing the supercharger. I already started. Remove the front bumper, the bash bar. Next thing you want to do, remove the headlights, both of them, intake box, and this whole intake tube, and then we'll get to the next part. And just like that, guys, we got the headlights off and the intake pipe. I don't know if I previously explained it, but I had a MAF sensor on here, and because the intake pipe had one as well, this is from the supercharger kit, by the way. I just put electrical tape over it because I didn't want to buy a brand new intake tube, because that was only going to be full bolt on for a couple months. And so yeah, so now I'm just going to take off this tape and we're going to use this the right way. Alright guys, so after removing everything, you're going to want to remove the belt. And in order to do that, it's this pulley right here. It's a 14. You could just have it loose and then pull off the belt. So let me show you. So just like this, push it this way, and as you can see, the belt breaks loose. This next step is very easy. So you can just use a breaker bar or a regular ratchet. Put your 22mm right here, crank the car one time, and the bolt should be loose. So let me show you guys what I mean. Don't be scared, guys. This is all you do. And just like that, guys, the little bolt is loose. So just pull it off. Now that we got our crank pulley nice and clean, you can go ahead and put this adapter on it. So you just push it in here and then you tighten these bolts down, and that's basically it. Alright guys, so to make things easier, make sure you tighten the pulley down all the way off the car. That way it's nice and like snug on here. And then once you put it on the car, we're gonna have to use the tool to torque it down to spec. And then after you torque down the crank pulley to spec, then you can tighten these, because you're gonna have to use these holes to use the other black tool. You guys will see what I'm talking about, but just make sure this is tight before you put it on the car. Alright guys, so when you buy this kit, it does come with these bolts to take off the crank pulley, but because the supercharger adapter is on there, you're gonna need these longer ones, and it should come with their RR kit, so don't worry about that. Just use these. They're 13mm, and then I'll show you how to put it on. Alright guys, and just like that, you're gonna want to have the crank pulley. You're going to want to tighten down the 13mm bolts, and then you're going to want to use a little extension and torque this down to 150 foot-pounds. And after that, you guys are going to want to tighten both of these bolts down right here. It doesn't say to do this in the install, but I'm going to do it to clear the intercooler piping. So I'm just going to cut right here and like this, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, and just like that, that should give you enough clearance to clear the intercooler piping. So now I'm going to install the intercooler and some of the piping. Alright guys, and just like that, I installed the intercooler, just held on by that 10mm bolt that goes into the little radiator rail. And now I'm going to install this lower bracket, and I'll show you guys where it goes. Alright guys, and just like that, I got everything tightened down. I ended up using this little 6mm hex that I found. Worked just fine. I'm gonna probably take off the crank pulley next, because you can't use the NST lightweight pulley to put the adapter pulley on it, because I don't think it fits. I'll show you guys right now the difference between the NST and the OEM one. The reason why you can't run this lightweight crank pulley with the adapter for the supercharger is because it won't fit. It doesn't go into the crank pulley. But when you put it over here, it aligns and it's ready to go in. So that's the only reason why you can't run this. So if anybody's interested in buying this off of me, or actually I'm gonna just do a giveaway on Instagram when this video drops. So if anybody's interested, I'll post it on my Instagram and I'll show you guys how to enter. Alright guys, so the way I ended up putting the supercharger inside, I just took out the lower bracket completely and I squeezed the supercharger in through here, and I just held it up with one hand, or if you want, you can have somebody hold it up while you screw in the bracket. And once you have the bracket in place, you can just set it down and it can just lay right here like that. So to install the bracket, you have to loosen this bolt right here, that bolt up there. So this one and that one are both 12s, and this one right here is a 10. This one's gonna be a bracket. It's gonna hold this little clip thing. So you're just gonna, like, you can see the clip up there. This is a 10, 12, 12, and then this you can zip tie it somewhere else. But just make sure to take those off. And now I'm gonna put the bracket on. All right, guys. So now I installed some of the piping. So just to show you guys what this looks like. The new kit is probably different. This is an older kit, so it might look a little bit different for you guys. But this is how I connected all the piping, just so you guys can see how everything looks. And then I'll probably do more piping, and then I'll do the, or actually I'll start with the supercharger bracket. All right, guys, so this is how the heat shield came out on the coupler. It wasn't sticking on very well, so I used heat wrap to wrap around it, so it's nice and sturdy and secure on there. And if you guys were wondering what pulley I'm running an 80mm pulley. I think there's 3 stages. Stage 3, if I'm not mistaken, is a 78mm pulley, but that's like custom to our racing. They didn't have it, so I got this one off URD, and we're just gonna make it work and see what we can do with it. All right, guys, so I finally put this bracket on. So they are different. There's a 6mm, I think it's like a 7 or 8. This one's a 4. And yeah, you're just gonna, right now I have everything loosely on there, but I'm gonna start tightening everything down, and then you'll see how everything looks. And just a heads up, you guys, oh shit, don't forget to put the coupler, because if not, it's gonna be very hard to have the coupler with this already bolted on. So just put it in together, that way you don't have to worry about it after. So before you guys even get started mounting the piping and all that, you have to loosen this bolt right here, this one down here, and I also pulled this wire out just to give me a little bit more slack. So I'm gonna move this out the way, and then after I'll reinstall it, because I'm pretty sure you can just put it back where it is, but just to give me slack, because I honestly, there's no space to like get in there. To add on to that last clip, so the piece that you saw that was right here, it actually I ended up putting it right there, bolting it down to right there, and then the piece that was right here, I actually ended up bolting it right here. I'm not sure why, but it worked that way. If I tried to do it the other way around, it wouldn't have reached because of the piping and stuff, the way I did it. But you could possibly do it back to how it used to be, but if you decide to do it this way, there won't be any problem because it's still going to a ground. Forget, guys, when you guys are putting on the bracket, make sure you have the belt on there, or else you're gonna have to redo everything and take everything off, because that's what I had to do. So yeah, and then after the belt's on, after the bracket, everything else right here is tight, you should still have a little bit of play, but that's where this comes into play. Bolts up right here, the bolt goes right here, and this bottom piece goes right here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like mounted. That's how the tensioner looks, and then you just put a little 3/8 or I think I don't know what it is, but you put a ratchet in here for there's a little hole thing, and you pull this out. So let me do that for you guys. And then now there's tension on the belt, so there's no play at all. Now we can do the hoses, guys. And now I got the first oil line routed to the supercharger. Goes in through here, comes out through there to the, I think it's the outlet. Yeah, it says outlet right there, and the inlet's the other one. So it's gonna have to be from here, it's gonna go to the top of the canister, and from the bottom it's gonna go to the filter, the prime bulb, and then the rest of the line is gonna go to the inlet. So I'll let you guys know what that looks like once I hook it up. And we're back, so everything's nice and routed. Like I said, this one goes up to the outer bolt right here. This one goes in, goes through there, onto the top of the canister. You can't see it. Where's it at? Oh, it's right there. The canister, and then the bottom goes from the bottom to the oil filter, goes up to the primer bulb, all the way to the inlet. A little janky setup I have right now, but I'm gonna put a under tray and everything. I have it, I just haven't installed it yet. And I accidentally overfilled it, so don't do what I did. But I will say this primer bulb makes it so much easier than doing it with the air gun, because the air gun, it was such a pain in the ass because you had to loosen the banjo bolt and tighten it, loosen it, tighten it, and it was just so annoying. So this definitely makes the job 10 times easier. So definitely purchase one of these if you plan on getting this kit. And before I forget, guys, I know there's a lot of zip ties right here. The reason for that is because since I have an aftermarket radiator, it's a lot thicker than OEM, and you have to cut this hose down and push it this way so that it clears and it's not hitting the tensioner right here. So with the OEM radiator, it's actually going to be pushed out a lot more here. So this gap, I mean, there's still a small gap, but it's not too bad because of the zip ties. Without the zip ties, it would be rubbing against this, and the belt would eventually fall off. So that already happened to me before, where the belt fell off because of that reason. So to fix that, I just zip tied a lot of zip ties to like different locations to pull the whole hose this way. But if you had the OEM radiator, you wouldn't have this issue. This is only if you're running the Megan Racing radiator. I also did want to show you guys how I set up my boost gauge. So I did take out the battery, and there's this little thing right here I opened up. And if you go to the car, you'll see the hole right there, and where's it at? It's somewhere up there, you'll see it. And basically, this is what I need for the boost gauge. I just push that through there, and that's it. The way my AFR gauge is set up, this is my AFR gauge. I just have it wired to the cigarette lighter fuse right here, and to this ground right here. And the same way I'm gonna set up my boost gauge, I'm gonna use the same ground and the same cigarette lighter port, or fuse, I mean. So yeah, it's very simple. I thought it was hard because I never really did anything like this before, but once I figured it out, it was pretty easy. If you guys have any other questions, just let me know. And let's get this car started, hopefully. Let me wire this up. First startup. What's up, guys? I got a quick video for you guys today. So I know I still haven't installed the supercharger, or at least I still haven't posted. Maybe I'll post it before I post this video. But I am having some misfiring issues at wide open throttle, and I checked my spark plugs, they're bad. Put some new ones in, same thing. Only when I was making boost, I was having the misfire. When I would drive normal, the car would be fine. And come to find out, I think it's pretty sure it's my spark plugs. I need to decrease the gap size. So the preset size is it's 0.044, and I need to set it to 0.025. So gonna pull these out, I'm gonna change them. I'll show you guys what tool I'm using, and then we'll go from there. Guys, and just like that, I got 3 of the spark plugs removed. I'm gonna go ahead and decrease the gap size with the tool that I bought, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do that side. So let me show you guys how to do this. Just in this tool, I will link it down below. So first things first, this is where you put the spark plug, and this is your feeler gauge. I think that's what it's called, or I could be mistaken, but it goes from 0.03 to 1 millimeter, and what we need is 0.025. The preset on this is 0.044, so I'm gonna test one of them right now and see if that's accurate. Oh shit. The filler gauge decided to break from the top, or not break, but the little nut came off. So I just took out the 0.025. I did look, the highest it goes to is 0.035, so I can't test the 0.045 preset. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead, set up the spark plug, and show you guys how this works. So I'm assuming the spark plug goes in here. Just like that. And then the filler gauge. Oh shit, let me not damage anything. The filler gauge goes in there just like that, and then you slowly start to compress the spark plug, and you turn this knob right here. So I can't record and do it at the same time, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that on my own. All right, what's up guys? So I just got off of work. I haven't recorded a pull with my phone. I've done a couple pulls. The misfire is gone. I would love to get one with my phone in my hand, but it gets too sketchy. I need an alignment. My car starts like not shaking, but I do spin first, second, sometimes third. So to get a phone clip with my hand and drive and use, like, I don't know, that shit's too sketch. So I'm gonna just show you guys my dash cam footage. All right guys, scratch that. My dash cam has not been on for the past 3 weeks actually. For some reason my cigarette lighter is out. It's on, but the light doesn't turn on, so it's not working. I'm not sure why. And I know it's not the fuse because my boost gauge and my AFR gauge are both connected to the cigarette lighter. Woo! Finally! Had to decrease the gap size on my spark plug. My supercharger belt fell off. Finally fixed it. So let me show you guys what, hopefully everything is good now. I finally got this aligned. Before it was like slanted. I'm gonna show you guys how I have that set up right now. So honestly, zip ties, the big thick zip ties, I made sure to use those because those were good. I have it mounted to this part of the radiator support, and then another part right here, same thing right here, this little part, and then this part up here. And then to hold the intercooler, I just have these two nut things holding this in place. It's basically that thing for the quick release. As you can see right there, that's what it is. So basically have that right there because I had extra laying around. Jesus, bruh. Oh, my car sounds like with a misfire. Jeez, you hear it? It like hesitates.